listening to a download from the outdoorstation.co.uk. Number 447.
Hello and welcome back once again to a very special podcast on the Outdoor Station. Have you ever considered where the word podcast actually came from? Well, it came into existence in 2004 when a BBC journalist, Ben Hammersley, was writing an article on this new phenomena. And of course, I'll put a link to the original article in the show notes. And the word podcast was thus invented. Now, Apple adopted this word in preference to the word netcast, which it was going to use apparently, and it was first introduced into the world in the iTunes software in July 2005. And then a few months later, when nobody was looking, in October 2005, I started the first outdoor backpacking-based podcast show, and it sounded something like this. Get loose! Hello and welcome to another podcast from backpackinglight.co.uk. I'm Bob Cartwright, your host, and all our podcasts are focused on the subject of the great outdoors, and where possible, easing the strain and taking a lighter load. Our motto is minimum weight, maximum fun. So where we can, we try to see what weight saving and practical tips we can glean in our podcasts. We have particular interest in supporting those in the UK. Oh, don't I sound so young and enthusiastic? Now, I've just been going through all the old intros and things that I kept on file. And do you want to hear some? Do you? Well, have a listen to this.
Put down your knitting, Grandma. The real entertainment starts here. Brace yourselves.
Backpackinglight.co.uk.
The UK's first outdoor podcasting show.
Minimum weight.
Maximum fun.
Shall we?
Or do you remember this one?
You're listening to the digital sound of
Backpackinglight.co.uk.
The UK's first outdoor podcasting show.
Minimum weight.
Maximum fun.
You can really tell that my previous career was in commercial radio, can't you? Oh, what creative fun I used to have making those intros in those days.
Oh, wow. You were fantastic.
Now, why, I hear you ask, why is all this historical information so important? Well, today as I record this is October the 18th, 2017. Some 12 years, 14 days and 15 hours after I started, and over 440 podcasts later, I am proud and pleased to say that the total number of downloads since that very first one is 10,040,909.
I don't believe it.
Let's put that into perspective for you. As an average, across that period of time, that is almost 70,000 downloads a month. Just a smidge under 16,000 downloads a week. Just over 2,200 downloads a day. And an average of 95 downloads per hour. Now, beat that traditional outdoor media. Those figures are phenomenal. I'm telling you, they are phenomenal. And it's all down to you, the listener. And all the way through this has been entirely self-funded, without any major sponsor or commercial interest, apart from stealing a bit of money out of the Backpacking Light coffee tin. Now, I think that's something to celebrate, don't you?
Yeah!
Now, you may have found these podcasts any time in the last 12 years, and hopefully you've enjoyed dipping in and out of the varied content during that time. I hope that it's given you pleasure, or escapism, or more information which is added to your outdoor activities. And so I've decided to dedicate the next show or more to you, my audience. You guys have made it. If I've interviewed you, or we've met somewhere along the way, or you enjoyed the occasional podcast, I want you to tell me. Yes, it's egotistical. Yes, it's all about celebration, but this is a massive, massive achievement. Now, you see, I want to hear your voice, your passion, your story, and your relationship to these podcasts. How, I hear you say, how? I've sent you emails before. How are you going to tell me? Right, this is how I'm going to do it, because I think your voice is going to really tell a great story. What I've done is I've set up a Skype answering service. So you can call in from any Skype-enabled item, phone, iPads, pads, laptops, computers generally, whatever. Anything that's got Skype on it, free of charge, to The Outdoors Station. Just one word, no gaps, all strung together, The Outdoors Station. And you can leave me an audio message. Now, if this technology is beyond you and you're a traditional telephone user, not a problem, because if you phone this number that I'm about to give you, and the details of course will be on the website, this number I'm about to give you, from any phone in the UK, it will be a local call, whether it's a mobile or it's a landline. Now, if you're phoning from outside of the UK, you can just remove the first 0 and add the usual 0044, and again, because it's a Skype number, you will only be charged for a local call in your country. And please, please call me. Leave a message. So the telephone number is 01905 570 313. And if you're calling from outside of the UK, it would be 0044 1905 570 313. But as I say, all the information is on the website.
Call me anytime you want.
When you leave your message, simply just tell me who you are and where you're calling from and your relationship to whatever to do with the podcasts. So I'm going to pull together all the sound clips, all the answer machine messages to create a podcast with your voice on it, celebrating your relationship with the Outdoors Station and everything you've heard over the last 12 years. Now, there are other ways of getting a message to me. If you've got a mobile recording device, and this can of course just be a simple phone these days, or iPad or one of the pads, and you could record an MP3 file, even a dictaphone thinking about it, a simple MP3 file, and you could put it in a Dropbox and send me the link, or email it directly to me, providing it's not too big. Now, the email address, again, is on the website, but it's just the normal address, which is info@theoutdoorsStation.co.uk. Now, all this contact information will be on the website. I'll be putting it out on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook as well. So come on, guys, this is big. This really is huge. I mean, just imagine if I'd sold 10 million books or 10 million CDs, hey, I'd be rich and famous. But I'm neither. I just do it for the passion of sharing and the love of the outdoors. Over the years, I've had fellow enthusiasts join in and contribute and add to the story. Andy Howell, of course, Shirley Worrell, our European correspondent Roman Ackle, and Rose and Beth from the family have joined in. This is all for them too. We're celebrating together. It's a way for you guys to make the next podcast extra special and say something to them too if you wish. Now, it doesn't matter if your call is 15 seconds or 5 minutes. It'll all go into the mix, and I may get even slightly creative with the way it all goes together. So what can you tell me? Well, it can be a story about where you listen to the podcasts, or trying something new, a technique or gear that's come out of the podcasts. Maybe something in one of them's made you laugh out loud, or something really fascinating about one of my many interviewees over the 12 years. It could be that it has helped you lighten your load, take a different path, or go somewhere new, or maybe see the same old places differently. Just remember, tell me who you are, where you're calling from, and call now 01905 570 313. If you're calling from outside the UK, it's 0044 1905 570 313. We're now in a world where knowledge and technical know-how is being ignored over price. Everyone wants everything cheap, 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 cheap. Which is why this podcast, and others like it, are an important way of keeping up to date with background information and ideas that you could really rely on in the future. Now, there's only me doing this. Okay, I may use the royal we sometimes, but it's just me in a shed with one computer working late into the night to tell stories. So tell me your story. Who you are, where you're calling from, and your relationship to these podcasts. So looking back over those figures of over 10 million downloads since I started, you do realise that on average, more than 50 people have downloaded one of my podcasts since I started talking today. 10 million podcasts. Now, if I had a penny for each download, I could be doing this full time. I could be the startup phenomena in the UK. I could be the Julia Bradbury of podcasting. What, with these legs? Maybe those days will come, and I won't have to squeeze this in at the end of a working day. But until then, you just get me. The most interesting guests I can find, different trips and places I go to, and a passion to share. So come on, tell me your relationship with these podcasts. Tell me who you are, where you're calling from, and contact me now. Just remember, you can use Skype free of charge from anywhere in the world with any device with a Skype app on it. And just call into The Outdoors Station, one word. Or if you're using old technology and you're calling from the UK, phone 01905 570 313. Or if you're calling from outside of the UK, 0044 1905 570 313. Those lines are going to be open for the next few weeks, and I'm looking forward to hearing all your stories, where you're calling from, and you too celebrating 10 million downloads. Thank you, each and every one of you. We couldn't have done it without you. It's that royal we again. I couldn't have done it without you. And I'm looking forward to piecing together all your stories, your voices, to create your podcast for the next episode and maybe even more.
Don't be shy. Show me what you can do.
There's something in here that's got to be good. Thank you for helping me celebrate this phenomenal achievement. It couldn't be done without you. Keep downloading, keep enjoying the programs, keep giving me feedback, and I shall keep producing. Until the most fascinating podcast you will hear on the next episode. Take care out there, and don't forget to call me. Bye for now.
Okay, boys and girls, time to go home. So please finish your drinks now and run along home. Bye-bye.